and supply chain management. The only technical part in this subject is production management, where we have some modules on plant location, plant layout, different types of plant layouts, plant location method, center of gravity method, factor rating method, weighted average method, or cost distance method, load distance method. But to be very honest and frank with all of you, this course being a generic course and not a specialization course, subject code 204, Operations Supply Chain Management, it is applicable to all the business management students. So your specialization usually starts after third semester, or maybe in second semester also you're offered some specialization subjects. But since this is a general subject, it is treated very generally. It is not treated very technically. But for people who are specializing in operations management, the production operations management subjects become more deeper and they become more analytical and more technical. And I am going to treat this subject in a very simple fashion. Just give me a minute, friends. I'll close the window. There's some noise outside. Organizing for global markets. See, today supply chains have become globalized, and the focus is not no more on just on local markets. Okay, so what are the contents of this session? We'll see. Introduction, strategies for world-class supply chain management. I think it will be worthwhile for all of you to note down in your books what does WCSCM stands for. WCSCM stands for World-Class Supply Chain Management. Then we'll speak about something on globalization. We'll speak something on international logistics. We'll speak a small point on integrating the logistics, and we'll understand what do we mean by world-class logistics management. And we'll summarize the session. So the key to good organizing, planning and controlling in global market is to create a flexible structure or framework which enables organizations to respond to relevant differences in the markets in which they operate, but at the same time delineates relationships clearly between parts and personnel of the company. What do we mean by this big definition of globalization? This big definition of globalization, although looks bigger, but it is very simple. It simply says that we must be flexible and we must be very much lenient for operating on the global scale. So there are three main factors in any supply chain management operations: manpower, that is people, processes and products, or man, machine and materials. So our manpower or our personnel and our products should be so uh, flexible that we should be able to operate on a global scale. So the key to good organizing, planning and controlling in global market. This is the key, or this is the golden rule to have a good organization, good plan and good control of our products and services in the global market. The key is to create a flexible structure. See, any organization will succeed only if it is flexible. Let me tell you one thing again and again out of experience. This is not written in any books. The more flexible you are in business management, the more successful you are. See, if you try to stick to the old principles and if you do not try to change yourself along with the trend, then you'll be out of business. So the key is to create a flexible structure and framework which enables organizations to respond to relevant differences, which means whatever market dynamics are happening, we should be able to relevantly respond to those market dynamics in which they operate. But at the same time, delineates. What is the meaning of delineation? Freedom, which means it also gives the freedom to relationships clearly between products and personnel of the company. So you should give that freedom to your organizational personnel. to decide what the market wants and adopt the process accordingly. So what are the strategies for a world-class supply chain management? We will discuss how to create a world-class supply chain. What is the meaning of a world-class supply chain? Lenovo has transformed three parts of its supply chain. See, this is a small example of a world-class supply chain. Lenovo, the very well-known computer company, has transformed three parts of its supply chain. First thing, it is implemented a new direct ship enabled program that allows it to integrate new partners quickly to meet new demand. So Lenovo has implemented a new direct ship enablement. They have a direct ship enabled program that allows it to integrate new partners quickly to meet the new demand. Second is they have added a new capability that called sell on the water, which allows it to allocate product to customers while a ship is in transit. So while the logistics or while the shipping is in transit, they will allot the different products to different customers and endpoint vision to leverage the platform to go fully touchless in order processing, which means they are completely touchless in order processing. Only orders are sent through barcodes and scanners. John Pershk, Vice President Strategy and Transformation, Global Supply Chain of Lenovo, has implemented these three world-class supply chain management strategies. What is the first world-class supply chain management strategy? A direct ship enabled program, which means the Lenovo is having a direct ship. What is the difference between a direct ship and an indirect ship? All of you can tell me. The shipment is not going through different hands. The shipment is not traveling through different on the sea, the products will be allotted to different customers. So you don't, so what are you doing? You are avoiding a distribution center. You are avoiding a center where there will be a distribution which will take a lot of time to allot the things to the customers. And third is the an endpoint vision to leverage the platform to go fully touchless, which means they are completely touchless. The goods are not touched by different agencies. Once the shipments are loaded in the factory, they are directly shipped. There is no distribution center. And while the shipments are traveling on the ship through magnetic recorders or barcode recorders, readers, the shipments are allotted to customers. So you may have ordered for a Lenovo PC and there are, say, let us say 100 computers being shipped from Lenovo factory from Japan. On the air or in on the sea, the shipments will be allotted to different customers. So what happens is the shipment comes directly from Lenovo manufacturing, and it doesn't go to any warehouse or a godown, and it directly comes to your place. So this becomes actually a B2C concept. Have you understood? Have you understood the concept?
Yes.
Concept समझला का?
Yes,
काय
sir.
फरक आहे? काय what is the difference? Can someone tell me? Lenovoला एवढा ऍडव्हान्टेज का मिळाला? What is the difference? Because supply chain avoid केली ना त्यांनी, isn't it? How goods are, how when you order something, what is the method the goods are received at your place? Can anyone tell me? Suppose you have ordered for a computer, IBM computer. The first thing is the computer will be manufactured by the company. The company will be shipping it through logistics organization. It will reach a distributor point or a wholesaler or stockist point. From there, the computers will be allotted to different customers. From there, they will be allotted to different logistical agencies as per geographical area. And from there, they will be given to the retailer through which you have bought the computer. So the whole process of the whole supply chain is going to have a lot of time. But this is where the Lenovo has added an advantage. Lenovo says we directly do the shipment and the allotment to the customers are happening while traveling on the sea. So this concept is also known by Lenovo as sell on the water, which means the shipments are actually sold while they are in transit. And there's a lot of time and lot of margin which is saved due to avoidance of different manhandling of your goods. Again, the third point is more important. an endpoint vision to leverage the platform to go fully touchless. Now, what happens when your order is touchless? When you do not have your consignment touched by many agencies, there is a less chance of damage, isn't it? When does damage happen? Damage happens only when your shipment is handled by multiple agencies. But here Lenovo says, I want to do the shipment touchless, which means once the shipment is done from Lenovo factory, it directly reaches your place, touchless, just through barcoding. Understood? This is the innovation in supply chain. This is called world-class supply chain. And this concept was introduced by the gentleman John Persh, who is Vice President Strategy and Transformation for Global Supply Chain Lenovo. And this is very well appreciated. So the next time you order for a Lenovo laptop or a computer, be sure that it is directly come from Lenovo factory to you. You may have to order that on Amazon, or you may be ordering that on Flipkart. But do you think Amazon and Flipkart are keeping stocks of more laptops? They're not keeping. Once the order is received from you, they will directly send the order to the company. The company will manufacture or assemble the computer of your configuration. They will assemble the computer as per the configuration you have ordered, like RAM, ROM, processor, etc. And they will directly ship it to you. You understand that? And it will be a touchless delivery. So this is the advantage of one of the Lenovo strategies for world-class supply chain management. Now let us understand what do we mean by globalization. Globalization is the word used to describe the growing interdependence of the world's economies. See, the world economy is interdependent. I'm 100% sure you will agree with me. Economy cannot be run alone. Economy has to be dependent on something. So globalization is the word used to describe the growing interdependence of the world's economies, cultures and populations, brought about by cross-border trade in goods and services, technology and flows of investment, people and information. So what is the meaning of globalization actually? Globalization actually is a mixture of people, products, processes, information, investments, services, technology. And it is a cross-border trade of goods and services. And economy always depends on something else. In regards to supply chain management, globalization refers to the process in which a business operates on an international scale. Globalization offers companies the opportunity to reach new customers in new markets, which dramatically upsets how manufacturers need to operate to be successful. So what special role do supply chains play in the globalization of organizations? A supply chain's value to an organization determines their ability to compete in the marketplace. By having a good supply chain, organizations have business power and can push the supply chains to work both in domestic and global markets. So again, we come to the same definition where we started. Your supply chain should be extremely accurately responsive to change and flexible. This was about organizing for global markets. Now we will start a new presentation on a new topic in supply chain. And it is based on, I think we have not discussed this, right? We have not discussed IT packages in supply chain. Did we discuss IT packages in supply chain?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So now the discussion will be on IT packages in supply chain. So if you all have agreed to what do we mean by world-class supply chain management, now we'll see how IT will help or information technology will help in supply chain management. See, without IT, the supply chain management cannot perform. Remember, try to understand a situation where you may have ordered for something which is not assembled or not manufactured in India. It may have been assembled or manufactured in USA or Japan or China. And it has to pass through a lot of channels in supply chain management. In that case, without information technology or without information and communications technology, it will be very difficult for you to keep the track of your goods and services. I think we have I think we have discussed this topic. I think we've discussed about SAP Release 3 and we've discussed about I-Square technology. I remember I have covered IT packages in supply chain.
सर स्पेशलायझेशन वाल्यांचं झालं सर हे जनरलचं नाही झालेलं आहे.
I see, specializationचं झालं होतं का? Oh, okay. That is course code 206. जनरलचं नव्हतं झालं. Okay. So we'll discuss the following things. काय होतं माहिती का? The subject has overlap at both the places now. Specialization also has supply chain management, and operations and supply chain also has supply chain management. Okay. So the structure of this course is like this. The topic, introduction to IT packages in supply chain. Then what are the roles, advantages and limitations of software packages for SCM and operations. Then we'll study the architecture of SAP Release 3 or SAP R/3 ERP solution. Then we'll discuss the architecture of a software called BAN. BAN is one of the ERP solution. Then we'll see what are the criteria for selecting the right ERP package. We'll speak something about I-Square technology, which is also one of our leading ERP package. And we'll see what is the contribution of the software packages to the supply chain management as a science. So what kind of supply chain management softwares are there? There are point solutions for specific steps in the supply chain, such as procurement, fulfillment, and inventory and order management. Remember, supply chain management has many functions, okay? One of the main functions of supply chain management is procurement. So we have different solutions for different, we have different software packages for different supply chain management functions. There are solutions for procurement, there are solutions for fulfillment. There are solutions for customer relationship management. There are software packages for inventory management. There are software packages for order management or order processing. There are also solutions in supply chain management capabilities within ERP platforms. What does ERP stand for? Can anyone tell me? What does ERP stand for?
Enterprise Resource Management.
Planning.
Yes.
Enterprise Resource Planning.
Yes.
So enterprise resource planning is actually an intelligent and smart software which is being developed by many companies around the world. One of the major market shares in the ERP are held by Siemens and SAP. And many organizations are doing ERP packages like BAN, JW Edwards, I-Square Technologies, PeopleSoft, etc. Infosys is also there, Microsoft is also there. So most of these IT organizations are producing ERP software, and that ERP software is custom built and custom made software. So like in educational institutions also, there are ERP software packages, and there is a training being given to the educational institutions, in-house faculty and staff for operating the ERP software packages for education applications. Now, who uses supply chain management software? Supply chain management software is mostly commonly used by procurement or logistics specialists in very large businesses or enterprises in manufacturing or production. See, today, most of the medium scale and large scale operations organizations are using ERP, okay? Because there are so many complexities and so huge production operations is there. Think of a company like Tata Motors, which has a capacity to produce more than 1,500 assemble 1,500 cars a day. In that case, the inventory, the total inventory, the total assembly items are more than 40-50,000. So it is very complex operation to manage inventory, bill of materials, etc. So most of the manufacturing, production as well as service enterprises are using ERP. Even I think people like Domino's Pizza or Papa John's or Pizza Hut, most of these food supply chains like McDonald's, they're also using a good ERP software package, because at the end of the day, when there is an accounting to be done, or at the end of the week when there is a analytics to be done, analysis to be done, the software will give you at a glance, on a click, what has happened in the last couple of days that you have entered the data. So basically ERP packages are used for database management, and there's a huge amount of data that any company would have, and the company would have to process that data through business analytics at any given point of time. Generally, it's a good practice to analyze the data at every weekend or a fortnight, because if you are into very large scale manufacturing, or if you are into very high scale, very high, heavy amount of service operations like Pizza Hut or Domino's, then you need to see how your sales has happened, on what day, how many sales has happened, how much were the rejections, how much were the quality issues, how much were the delivery delay issues, etc. Please understand, all this data through ERP is going to be analyzed and done with a lot of analytics. Understand that. What software is used in supply chain management? See, these are some of the well-known names of softwares used in supply chain and operations management. This software, I'll just modify this. I'll just modify this PowerPoint presentation. Give me a minute. Which software is used in operations and supply chain management? I will say which software is used in operations and supply chain management, because most of the softwares are also used for operations. It is not just a supply chain, but also operations. So the top operations and supply chain management softwares are written here. You can see the list is quite exhaustive. Top operations and supply chain management softwares are eSquare Open. One is eSquare Open. Let us say one eSquare Open. Two, SAP SCM. Second software is SAP SCM, SAP Supply Chain Management. Third is Logility. Fourth is Perfect Commerce. Fifth is Oracle SCM. How many of you know that Oracle is into supply chain management ERP? Anyone has an experience of working on ERP in this group? Then sixth is Infor SCM. Seventh is JD Edwards SCM. Any one of you has an experience of working on ERP system in this group?
No, sir.
No. Okay, fine, not an issue. So Manhattan SCM is one of the supply chain management softwares. Then Epicor SCM. I think I hope all of you are noting this, because you will have to study this by browsing on the internet. 10th is a Dassault Systems. Most of you must be knowing Dassault Systems. Dassault Systems is a very well-known organization in the world in engineering design softwares like SolidWorks, CATIA, etc.
Yes,
Then we have HighJump SCM, HighJump Supply Chain Management Software. Then we have IFS. I don't know about IFS. See, I didn't happen to work in the ERP space, but yes, we did had ERP when I was working in Tata Telecom. We did had ERP software packages on which a lot of engineers were working. Then we have Watson Supply Chain Software. Then we have BlueJ Supply Chain Software, BlueJ SCM, and some of the examples of best supply chain management softwares. These are some of the examples of best supply chain management softwares. So I made the screen bigger so that all of you can see now. What softwares are used in supply chain management, operations and supply chain management? eSquare Open, SAP SCM, Logility, Perfect Commerce, Oracle Supply Chain Management, Infor SCM, Infor Supply Chain Management, JD Edwards, JD Edmunds Supply Chain Management, Manhattan Supply Chain Management, Epicor SCM, Dassault Systems SCM, Descartes SCM, HighJump SCM, IFS, Watson Supply Chain, and BlueJ Supply Chain Management are some of the examples of best supply chain management softwares used by the organizations. Then I remember PeopleSoft is there, BAN is there, etc. So what are the roles, advantages and limitations of software packages in supply chain management? Advantages of using supply chain management software are it helps in controlling and reducing costs. The supply chain management software helps in control and reduce costs. It alleviates risks such as late shipments and logistical errors. It reduces the risks of late shipments and logistical errors. It improves customer service and communication, and it helps in forecasting and decision making. I will also add one thing. It also helps in business analytics. All of you agree with me that even the software helps in business analytics? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Business analytics is used for future predictions, isn't it? So supply chain management software will also help you in business analytics for future predictions or trend analysis. Now, what are the different points that you should ponder on this? How to choose supply chain management software for your business, or main modules of supply chain management systems and steps you can automate. See, all these information technology softwares or all these things should be basically helpful to all of you in increasing the efficiency of your business and reducing cost and increasing your delivery efficiency. So what are the different roles of a supply chain manager and operations manager? On current inventory levels and turnover strengths and weak points. This you have to design your supply chain. Now let us discuss the architecture of SAP R/3 ERP solution. What does SAP stand for? SAP stands for Systems, Applications and Products in Data Processing. Let me highlight. SAP stands for what? Systems, Applications and Products in Data Processing. That is the SAP full name. Now, how is the SAP R/3 architecture? What does R/3 stand for? The SAP R/3 stands for Release 3. That's a Release 3. So SAP R/3 is one of the main product of SAP or SAP, where R stands for real time and the number 3 relates to 3-tier application. So what are the 3-tier applications of SAP R/3 architecture? Database, application server and client. What are the 3 tiers in SAP R/3? Database, application server and client. Most of the business in today's world runs on SAP R/3 system. About 80% of the companies have implemented this software. Can you believe it, friends? SAP has got almost 80% market share. I think that's very huge, isn't it? 80% market share of one single organization today in ERP and database management space is a very, very huge market potential, right? So now let us see the SAP R/3 ERP architecture, which we also can use in supply chain management. So what is SAP R/3 architecture? There are 3 layers: presentation layer, application layer and database layer. SAP based the architecture of R/3 on a 3-tier client or server structure. First is a presentation layer. What is GUI? Can anyone tell me what is GUI? What is GUI? Graphical user interface. Please note down. GUI stands for graphical user interface, which means it is the user interface. It is the user who's working on your system. That is the first layer. The second is the application layer and the third is the database layer. Now let us go through the SAP architecture picture form. Please have a look at the SAP R/3 picture form architecture. So you can see in the presentation layer there are multiple computers. Multiple computers are working on SAP GUI. All of you know what is the meaning of GUI? Graphical user interface. Then the graphical user interface sends a lot of data. It is collected by someone called dispatcher and it is given to the application server and the work is processed in the application layer. The work which is processed in the application layer is then further divided into database and the database is stored in the third layer called database layer. This is called the SAP architecture. Everyone understood the SAP architecture? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. See, this is an exploded view of the SAP architecture. This is a more detailed view of the SAP architecture. So if you see at the bottom line, friends, in the database layer, the database layer will be either a Windows server or Unix. And in the database server, you can see there are different cylinders or different disks. Those disks are storing information. Now the database layer will be based upon which technology, either Oracle technology, Informix or DB2 or MS SQL Server or MaxDB. So any one of these technologies can be used for a database layer. The database layer will be either a Windows server or Unix. You may be wondering why I'm going so much into information technology, but friends, it is necessary if you want to learn good operations and good supply chain management. You should also learn good applications of information technology tools in operations and supply chain management. Remember that. See, these three things cannot be avoided in business: engineering processes, supply chain processes, management processes, and information technology processes, or what we called in today's world ICT. What is the meaning of ICT? What is the long form of ICT? Anyone? What is the long form of ICT? Information and communications technology, or information and computer technology. So engineering, management information systems, supply chain operations all have to take help of information technology. Now let us discuss about BAN. Has everyone understood the SAP architecture? Has everyone understood SAP three-tier architecture? So that now I will go ahead and discuss about BAN software, which is used in supply chain management. Okay,
Yes,
shall we go ahead? Yeah, shall we go ahead?
Sir, his slide exactly.
I'm not able to hear you properly. Come again.
Sir, his slide explain karna SAP system ची.
SAP. Okay, SAP three-tier architecture. The first interface I will show by mouse. I think you will be able to see my mouse. The first layer is also known as presentation layer. Presentation layer का मतलब क्या होता है? What is the meaning of a presentation layer? That this is where you or the client is going to sit and manage the computer. So tomorrow, if you join any organization which is into supply chain operations, this SAP GUI stands for graphical user interface. So when you are working on a computer, you don't know exactly what is happening behind, isn't it? So this is something like a front office. The presentation layer is Windows based, which is something like a front office, where there are a number of people working. Now you don't just imagine that 3 or 4 or 5 people are working. You know what? There can be 1,000 people working on one SAP system. So your SAP system may be installed in your manufacturing company in Pune, and you may be having different outlets all over India. You may be having 70 different offices in 70 different cities in India: Mumbai, Pune, Aurangabad, Nasik, Nagpur, Ahmednagar, Maharashtra. Likewise, you know how many states are there in India? I think now there are 30 states in India. So in every state, you might be having 2 or 3 offices. That becomes 100 offices in India. So if there can be more than 100 or 200 people working on the presentation layer, that is the front office. Now, whatever data is being sent by the people working on the computers, which are connected to the SAP server here, this section called application layer will process the data. See, the data processing happens through Windows server or Unix server, and the data which is processed is now segmented. As you can see here, the data is segmented and the data is stored in something called database. So this is your data bank, okay? This is your data bank. Have you understood? I explained it.
Yes, sir.
Huh. So this is user, this is processor, and this is data bank. What is BAN? BAN is one of the independent system application. BAN is one of the independent SAP ERP application like SAP, but has some limitations. BAN 4 is a system independent application. To achieve this goal, BAN has developed a B shell, display server, and database driver which serve as a shield between the operating system and the application. So there's not much to be discussed on BAN because I didn't get the BAN system architecture. They're not ready to share. You can explore on BAN. Then iSquare Technology is there. iSquare Technology is a full service supply chain management company providing consulting technology and managed services. It's acquired by a company called Blue Yonder. So see, since the maximum market share in supply chain management and IT software, operations and SCM software is SAP Release 3, SAP R by 3, I was able to get the data on that. But on BAN and iSquare, I was not able to get the more data. Now, so let us discuss some of the selection tips on implementing and selecting the ERP package. There are 9 tips for selecting and implementing a good ERP system. First is you have to get an upper management support because this is going to be a costly affair. Then you have to make a clear and extensive list of requirements before you start at vendors. What exactly is your requirement? You have to make a list. Then don't forget mobile users. You have to develop the application in such a way that your ERP system should be able to approached by mobile also. Because today everyone is carrying mobile in the pocket. It's not necessary that you have to sit in front of a computer. Now I have attended day before yesterday a conference where we had 5 people and my desktop PC was not working due to some internet issue. So I have attended through mobile on Google Meet, you see, or even on Microsoft Teams. So you have to keep in mind that whatever ERP package you are developing or selecting, it has to have a mobile application. Then carefully evaluate your options before selecting your ERP system. You have to narrow down what your options are. You cannot have very exhaustive. Then you should get some references, how this software package is working, what is the possibility of breakdown, etc. Think before you customize. You have to customize that packet. Think before you customize. What exactly do you want? Factor in change management. You have to consider that there is a factor called change management. It is going to change every time. Maybe the market dynamics will ask you to change after some time. Then appoint an internal ERP product champion. Internally, you have to appoint someone who is an ERP product champion and surround him or her with good people and provide the necessary time and resources for training on the ERP system. Remember, as a supply chain manager, before selecting the ERP package, you have to think about training and employee comfort or employee friendliness. Okay. So what are the contribution of the software packages to the SCM? Supply chain software can also help in automation of major processes. See, your major processes can be automated such as order processing, invoicing the customers, shipment tracking, and as a result, they save a lot of time and reduce costs. Improve on-time delivery by coordinating all activities across your supply chain. This just reminds me, friends, if you can integrate your ERP software package with GPS, you can actually find out real-time software through the software, through ERP, synchronized with GPS, you can actually find out where your consignment is. Am I right or wrong? I think today, if you are doing any shopping on Amazon, how do you get to know that where your parcel is or where your shipment has reached? तुम्हाला कसं कळतं अमेझॉनचं पार्सल कुठे येऊन पडलेलं आहे किंवा कुठे थांबलेलं आहे कसं कळतं तुम्हाला?
ट्रॅकिंग सिस्टम आहे सर.
ट्रॅकिंग सिस्टम. पण ट्रॅकिंग सिस्टम कशी करते ट्रॅक? जीपीएस आणि समथिंग कॉल्ड GIS. आर यू ऑल अवेअर अबाउट GIS? GIS म्हणजे काय माहिती आहे का? व्हॉट इज GIS? Geographical Information System. GIS stands for Geographical Information System, note down. So you can actually track your system consignment through GPS, and it will improve your on-time delivery and all activities coordination. So we discussed about the role, advantages and limitations of
आपने
software
आज थोड़ा सा
packages, architecture of SAP R3, architecture of BAN, how to select the right ERP package as per technology, and contributions of the software packages to the SCM. Any questions anyone has on operations and supply chain management ERP packages? This is the SAP system architecture. Any questions anyone has on software packages used in operations and supply chain? Please ask. Anyone aware about what are the different software packages used in production management? For inventory planning, etc.
मेजॉरिटी कॉमर्स स्टुडंट आहेत त्यामुळे हे टेक्निकल जास्त माहिती नाहीये.
ठीक आहे. I'll explain. MRP, ERP, materials requirements planning, enterprise resources planning. Most of the software packages nowadays are customized for manufacturing operations, supply chain operations, retail operations. Even in retail, you have a lot of software packages available now. So if you are wanting to learn retail operations management, it will be beneficial and worthwhile to visit a website called Retail Association of India. Please visit the website of Retail Association of India.
Yes, sir.
The Retail Association of India वरती तुम्हाला हे दिसेल वेगवेगळ्या रिटेल असोसिएशन्स, वेगवेगळ्या रिटेल different retail organizations in India. So Retail Association of India website has a lot of information. See, I have opened the whiteboard because I wanted to write this here. Okay, I think I can write with a red pencil. Retail Association of India. It is called RAI. Okay, RAI. RAI. So we today discussed about the supply chain IT packages.
Yes.
I always like to use the whiteboard for writing with a marker or a chalk and board because it facilitates learning very nicely. Plus, it also facilitates a lot of mathematical problems can be solved. बरेच मॅथ्सचे प्रॉब्लेम्स ऑपरेशन्स मधले easily solve होतात when there's a whiteboard. So maybe in our next sessions when we will discuss about materials requirements planning or manufacturing resources planning, or we will discuss something on center of gravity method of plant location, plant layout, I will use the whiteboard. But the only problem is on the whiteboard the faculty has to write by mouse, and the mouse cannot be a pen. Anyway, but I'll try and write as far as possible. Are you able to see the whiteboard on your screen? I wrote RAI, Retail Association of India. Let me just share with you the Retail Association of India website. I think tomorrow also we have a session. So tomorrow we'll discuss some different issues. Everyone is able to see my whiteboard?
नो सर.
नाही का?
नाही दिसत सर.
ओ, कसं काय दिसत नाही बुवा. आता दिसेल. आता दिसतो का?
हो आता दिसतंय.
काय दिसतं व्हाईट बोर्डवर? RAI दिसतो का? RAI रिटेल असोसिएशन. नाही का? काय दिसतंय? व्हॉट डू यू सी ऑन द व्हाईट बोर्ड?
सर गुगल हे टीम मायक्रोसॉफ्ट टीमच दिसतंय सर.
स्क्रीन आहे.
बरं मी
स्क्रीन ऑन केली फक्त.
हा मी स्क्रीन करतो ऑन. मी एक काम करतो. ठीक आहे. आय डोंट नो व्हॉट इज हॅपनिंग रिअली. मी एक काम करतो. मी वेबसाईट उघडतो रिटेल असोसिएशन ऑफ इंडियाची आणि दाखवतो तुम्हाला. रिटेल असोसिएशन ऑफ इंडिया. Now, are you all able to see the website called RAI, Retail Association of India? So you have website. You are all able to see, right? So you please browse this website. On this website, there is a lot of knowledge. See here, we retail learning. Here there is a tab called Retail Learning, under which you can have a lot of courses on retail, seminars and workshops, certifications. Then here you have resources. Resources, you will have a knowledge, lot of knowledge. There is RAI magazine, knowledge reports, video library, newsletter and blogs. Blogs can also be very good resources for learning. And under retail learning, you have some courses on retail. See, there are courses like BBA on retail management, certificate course on retail management, bachelor's in vocation. So there are lots of knowledge to learn on retail operations management. See, you have to clearly divide operations management into retail and production operations management. You cannot compare retail operations with production operations. So please understand, before I conclude my session for today, please understand you have to clearly differentiate between retail operations, manufacturing operations, production operations, and supply chain operations. You cannot club everything, okay? So that is why I am trying to finish off supply chain management first, and then I will go into detailed operations management. Will that be fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So any questions from anyone, or otherwise we can end the session for today? But please don't leave, I am taking attendance. I have taken the attendance now. I think we can now conclude our session. It's almost